One of the things that we have been doing over the last few years is looking at ways to, instead of fighting nature, instead of saying, oh, I don't want this here, I want this there, is inviting nature into our yard in a way that is sustainable, both for what we want it to look like and for us to have a beautiful yard, but also to ensure that we have habitat, that we are working with nature rather than against nature.
I heard about the Urban Yard Initiative through my community league. I had plans to do some of the things that Nature Alberta was mentioning, so to create a yard that is more friendly for plants, birds, species. So it really aligned with what our plans were for our home.
Knowing sort of the systemic way in terms of how nature interacts with our environment and how it provides services that we sometimes take for granted. When trees provide shade, when they help prevent soil erosion and that sort of thing, their yards don't necessarily have to be lawns. They can be something else that can provide food for birds and pollen for bees and that sort of thing. And you sort of start seeing how these all work together and they help kind of create benefits for all of us.
Nature Alberta was definitely instrumental in helping us to achieve this in our yard, and will be a great support moving forward to help us kind of continue to learn about pollinator gardens and biodiversity and how to increase and maintain that in the city. And I have already met a few people through the Facebook group and have been sharing ideas and things like that. So I think it'll be a really good resource moving forward.
One of the things I hope that my family, my kids specifically, learn from being a part of this program is that we have to do our part. We live in a greater community of Edmonton, but we have a smaller community here in the West End, and specifically right here in our yard. And so I want my kids to learn that we have a yard, let's use it, let's do good with it, let's do our part.
I think a lot of times homeowners don't maybe not think about it is because they don't know about it. So I think a lot of it is about knowledge and a lot of it is about access. And so if Nature Alberta can provide these things to more homeowners, then I think it'll benefit sort of all Edmontonians overall.
I really feel strongly that one of the things the Nature Alberta program has done for us is to give us that idea of the whole and how we could take these individual bits and pieces of information and create then a whole vision of what the backyard and what our front yard could look like in terms of being a space to hold biodiversity and wildlife within an urban setting.